This is Loyalty-Based Sales Strategies with Jen Suzuki, exclusively on CBT News.
Hi, welcome back, everyone. I'm Jen Suzuki, Loyalty-Based Sales Strategies here at CBT News Network. I'm dialing into our leadership today, and I really want to lock in a simple strategy. I want to share it with you. I'm going to teach it to you. It's something that I learned a long time ago from a fellow colleague at the NADA Academy where I teach in variable ops now. And so this simple strategy sticks with me every day. Now, I'm in dealerships and I'm coaching and I'm training, and I always have the same end game. How do we get this team to top performer status so we win the championship team? I tend to work with a lot of the high performers out there in the industry for their makes, and I want to share this strategy that I teach all of our top performing stores. And it's a simple strategy. It's a three-part strategy, and it's just this, okay? You're going to write this down because I'm going to come back to each one of these moments. Teach the lesson, demonstrate the lesson, apply the lesson. This is a simple strategy to help your team build their skill sets. Now, I'm a big advocate of continuous learning, and the reason why I put this out here is because a lot of times we get in the daily grind and the hustle and forget about the fact that we got this crew, this squad, this front line that is representing your multi-million-dollar brands, that is representing your company, that is representing this team, and we want top performers. So we always want to be pushing out quality. Well, how do we get there? Well, we got to be continuously learning. And I want to develop a culture where learning is really a top priority. And this is where teach, demonstrate, apply comes in. So you might have a lesson. Actually, let me give you an example. The other day, this actually just came to my mind. I'm in the service department. I'm with the general manager, our head coach, and I'm with our service director. And the GM comes in and he says, you know, we got a big problem with decline work. Well, we all know that this is a thing. And if we could get this thing under wraps, woo! Sky's the limit, right? I mean, what better way to move the needle than to go after decline work? GM says, guys, we got a problem with decline work. We're getting way too many declines. In fact, we got to get our BDC involved because somebody's got to call these customers. We're just seeing too much of this. We're losing money. It's on the table. We're not explaining work. We're not explaining risk. We're not explaining reward. We're not explaining what they're getting for their money. And a lot of times, we're not even explaining that there is a problem because you guys are moving too fast. He says to, his service director, and I'm listening in on this. And it makes sense, It's like, bring awareness to the problem. So he's going to teach his manager, ways to overcome the declined work. So he targets it, he sets a performance metric. We got to increase this by X amount of dollars. We got to recover this work, or we got to get more approvals on the drive. So two different areas here that we could target when it comes to decline work. So our head coach is going to teach a lesson. How are we going to overturn decline work? How are we going to gain more approvals in the shop right away? And so what he mentions, and you might have heard me say this, is that we need a better process in here. So he's going to demonstrate what that means. So teach, demonstrate, apply. So here goes. And so if he's got a problem with declined work, then he's got to say, all right, well, so what am I going to teach these guys? I need to have some sort of a goal and objective here. We've got to reduce our declined work during their visit, an active visit, by ensuring the customer knows what they're getting for their money and that they understand the risk of not doing the work. That's simple. Okay, I write it down, I put it on a whiteboard, I put it on a flip chart. Now everybody's dialed into what our initiative and our objective is so that we can go on and teach this lesson. I write this out, and I always kind of come up with a few different things that I can include to demonstrate the second part of this thing so I can ensure that they understand what it is that I'm teaching. So they know the objective, they know our headline here, our title, what we're going after, and now they need to know how to get there. So if I come up with 1 to 3 actions that they could take in order to get this thing done, well then now we got a better process. So I might say, at write-up or even after MPI, let's go after MPI. That's a lot easier here. So after MPI, this is where we tend to get most of our approvals here. I want you to explain the quality of the technician, and I want you to explain what's going on with their car in a way that showcases that there's a problem. I want you to highlight the problem. I want you to showcase the risk of not doing the work. I want you to show them the reward of doing the work before you hit them with the number. And so with this process, very simple process, I'm able to demonstrate what it sounds like. Guys, I'm calling the customer. Hey, Joe, I just want to go over your vehicle. Our technician, our certified technician went over your car and he got it up on the lift, and I wanted to give you an update on the health of your vehicle. You got a couple minutes? Okay. And he says, so what's going on is you got kind of a really dirty air filter, and both cabin and engine air filters need to be replaced. They're congested, and because this is happening, what you're going to notice is that you got poor air quality coming into the cabin of your vehicle for you and all your passengers. And what it's doing, both of these filters, is it's impacting your engine performance, making your car work on overtime. And now it's starting to not really handle the best way that it could. The other thing is that you're going to notice is that it's impacting your fuel efficiency. So all that money you're dumping into the tank to get the best miles per gallon, it's suffering. And so these are small filters, but when you replace them, you're going to notice you got a better performance in your car. You're breathing better quality. You're going to actually smell the difference when we replace these filters, and you're just going to get better overall fuel efficiency in your vehicle. Boom, hit them with the cost. Now I've demonstrated what this might sound like. Instead of like, yep, you got to change the cabin air filter, $29.95. You want to go ahead with it? You see the difference? It's a quality conversation versus I'm just trying to get to the finish line and get out of here. I'm so busy. I don't care. These are customers that we're fighting for, loyal customers we're fighting for. So spend a little time explaining what's going on and what the risk and the reward is. Now I've demonstrated it. Now I need to execute it. So you saw me. I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call that customer and I'm going to actually get it done in front of my management team or my service advisors, whatever it may be that I'm following the structure. Whoever's leading this meeting has to execute it. Now, it's not just me executing it, but I want the team to execute it. So now I got to go around the room and I got to go to each person and say, all right, I want you to do a brake alignment. I want you to do a cabin air filter. I want you to do, front brakes. And you just keep giving them these scenarios, and everybody's got to learn how to execute, highlighting that problem, showcasing the risk of not doing the work, and showing them the reward of doing the work before they throw down that number. Boost up the quality, and this is going to reduce declines because now people are having time spent with them. They understand what's going on with their car, and they see the benefit of doing the work. Now, this is going to enhance our numbers. When people don't know, or they feel rushed, and they don't have time to ask questions, or they feel intimidated, they decline. And now we're doing something about it. I wanted to show you the simple strategy that I use with general managers, with all leadership teams, service and sales in the dealerships. It's 3 simple words: teach, demonstrate, apply. And it's a simple strategy to keep in mind as you're starting to really nurture your team members' success.
Thanks for watching Loyalty-Based Sales Strategies with Jen Suzuki, exclusively on CBT News.